Things have gone from bad to worse at Twitter since Elon Musk bought the company 3.5 months ago. Advertising revenue is down 40% compared to before Musk came in. That's losing him billions of dollars a year. He was counting on his new $8 Twitter Blue subscriptions to make up the shortfall, but that's not happening. Best guess is that around 300,000 signed up for that, bringing in just $30 million a year. Musk has saddled Twitter with so much debt that there is no viable path to being profitable if they can't bring in a lot of new revenue, which they can't because laying off 75% of the staff means that everyone at Twitter is scrambling just to keep the site running, and no one is working on video or payments or any of the other new services that Musk has floated. And because so many skilled employees have been laid off or quit, various technical glitches and outages keep upsetting users. Musk's push to improve free speech turned out to mostly be about unbanning a ton of alt-right and white supremacist accounts, leading to more hate speech and more reluctance from advertisers. He said he wanted to eliminate child abuse material on Twitter, but instead it's becoming worse, according to the experts. And finally, attempts to sell off some of Twitter's debt has found no takers, even at steep discounts. And it's not exactly hard to see why things have gone so badly. The problem is Elon. Musk is not a good business leader. He says so himself. And since he got rid of all the top executives and the entire board of Twitter, every single failure is a direct result of his leadership. There's nobody else to point the finger at. Now, Musk has many shortcomings as a CEO. He's arrogant, he's a know-it-all, he routinely lies about what his products will be able to do in the future, just to mention a few. But I think that recent events have exposed his one most fundamental flaw as a leader. And in this video, I want to talk about what that flaw is, how it's destroying any chance he has of turning Twitter around, and what other business leaders should learn from his mistakes. Let's start with those recent events. Things are not going well at Twitter, and the pressure of failing so publicly is clearly getting to Musk. Just today, an article detailed his awful leadership style based on reports from some of the few people who still actually work there. Here are some of the highlights. Musk works extremely long hours and often sleeps at the office and demands that others do the same. He has threatened Twitter's employees that the company risks going bankrupt. He is very quick to anger and to criticize employees, including those who know more about a given topic than he does. He is rude and dismissive. In a recent meeting, Musk asked for a status on a proposed change to the product, and a project manager started to answer, but was then interrupted by an angry Elon Musk who asked, "Why are you talking?" He then barred all product managers from speaking in meetings. That seems like a great idea. He'll often walk around the office and ask random people what they're working on, just interrupt their work. "So what are you doing?" And the wrong answer will absolutely get you fired because he has a tendency to rage fire people he thinks aren't working hard enough or who question his demands. He's even fired Twitter workers for criticizing him internally or on social media. How is all of this affecting Twitter staff? Well, it probably won't surprise you to hear that fear and hopelessness are everywhere. One employee said that you just have to go to work every day knowing that it could be your last and be fine with that. That does not seem like a productive work environment to me. Now, this is all bad, but I think the worst recent example of Musk's terrible behavior is the Super Bowl tweet. If you want to keep up with the insanity at Twitter, you have got to follow the Platformer newsletter. Casey Newton and Zoe Schiffer have done amazing work, and in their most recent issue, they tell a story that honestly sounds too crazy to believe. Fortunately, we have proof. Here's what happened. Musk went to the Super Bowl game last Sunday and tweeted his support for the Eagles. President Biden made a similar tweet, and the numbers showed that while his tweet got 29 million impressions, Musk's only got 9 million. You might think, who cares? But you're not Elon Musk, and he cared a lot. Just hours after the game at 2:36 a.m., James Musk, yes, that is Elon's cousin, sent an urgent message to all Twitter engineers. "We are debugging an issue with engagement across the platform. Any people who can make dashboards and write software, please can you help solve this problem? This is high urgency. Late Sunday night, Musk addressed this team in person. About 80 people were assembled to work on that project, and that had quickly become the number one priority inside Twitter. Monday morning, when people opened the Twitter app, they found that Musk now completely dominated their feed. Over a dozen of Musk's tweets and replies were visible, even to people who do not follow him on Twitter. Here's what had happened. Twitter had deployed code to automatically greenlight all of Musk's tweets and only his tweets, meaning his tweets now bypass Twitter's filters that are otherwise designed to only show people the best content possible. This has since been scaled back a little bit, but Musk's tweets are currently getting 5 to 10 times more impressions than they did just a month ago in January. According to Platformer, this shows that Twitter could change the ranking algorithms so that they show Musk's posts no matter what. And terrified of losing their jobs, this is the system that Twitter engineers are now building. I suspected this. In a previous video, I said that one effect of Musk's insanely bad leadership at Twitter is to create a fearful organization that will go along with anything he demands, even if it's unethical or illegal. So here's how Musk's recent behavior at Twitter reveals what I think is his most crucial flaw. We've seen this MO time and again. One, something makes Elon feel bad. In this case, that the president's tweet got more impressions than his. Step two, he urgently needs to stop feeling bad about this, so he makes this the top priority for his employees. Step three, he makes sure to make them feel bad too, putting pressure on them in the hopes that that'll make them want to urgently do something about it too. And then step four, hopefully the problem gets fixed and he feels better. Either way, he soon finds something new to feel bad about, and then it's right back to step one. So here's the flaw in Elon. He is lacking something called emotion regulation. It's defined generally as the ability to exert control over one's own emotional state, or in other words, to influence what you're feeling or how you express those feelings. And this isn't just a business skill we're talking about here. This is a human skill. Mature adults know that feeling bad yourself is never an excuse to make others feel bad. That's just kindergarten level stuff. But research shows that this skill is especially important for business leaders who can have power over thousands of others. One article concluded this: the efforts taken by leaders to manage their emotions are critical for ensuring that leaders improve their emotional states and successfully address the problem at hand. And studies also show that leaders who are good at emotion regulation are better leaders and their employees are less stressed and more productive. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, it is blindingly obvious that Musk sucks at this and he has incredibly poor impulse control in general. To Musk and people like him, everything that makes them feel bad is a crisis that requires urgent action. They have no ability to step back and ask themselves if this could maybe wait or be ignored altogether, or if maybe the quick fix they're demanding is going to have even worse side effects. Any pressure they experience must immediately be passed on to others. And Elon is clearly feeling that pressure. He keeps talking about how hard his time at Twitter has been. In a recent lawsuit, he said that I frankly don't want to be a CEO of any company. And you know, Elon, there's an easy fix for that. And I kind of get it. It can't be easy on him to be failing so hard in front of so many people, but that does not give him license to treat Twitter's employees like crap. And if he had any ability whatsoever to regulate his own emotions, he would recognize that his leadership style is exactly what's causing his failure. Now, people who know Musk from both Tesla and Twitter have compared his behavior now to the time 5 years ago when Tesla nearly went bankrupt, and they see some clear parallels. He's doing a lot of the same things now, so it's clearly a pattern with him. But this raises the question, right? Why has this leadership style not killed Tesla or SpaceX? And I think there are two main reasons. First of all, both of those companies have had more time to get used to him. SpaceX even has a team whose duty is to manage Musk and protect the rest of the organization from his most insane demands. Twitter has not had that time to adjust to him, and the huge losses that Musk has created there probably means they never will. Interestingly, one article even said that things are going much better at Tesla and SpaceX now that Musk is spending so much time at Twitter. But also, reason number two, I think Musk is clearly getting worse. Employees who've been at both Tesla and Twitter say that he is now worse than ever. So, what should leaders do when they're under huge pressure? In my previous video on why layoffs are a terrible idea, I shared the story of Wim Rollins. Wim was the CEO of Xilinx, a Silicon Valley company with nearly 3,000 employees back in the dot-com days. Now, they ran into huge problems when the dot-com crisis hit. The company's revenues for the last quarter of 2000 were $450 million, and 9 months later, they were down to just half that, $225 million. Now, amazingly, Wim never laid off a single employee, and the company came out of the crisis stronger than ever. You can hear the whole story of how they did that in my video on layoffs. But part of the solution was for Wim to work on himself. Here's what he said when I interviewed him about it. When you are the CEO and you see the numbers go down every week or every day, it's very easy to become depressed yourself. And you really have to find the inner strength. You have to be positive yourself. If you are negative and you come into the factory, everybody's going to be looking at you and getting depressed. So, however bad it is, however sad you feel, however worried you are, you come to work in the morning and you exude optimism and positive thinking. I think it's fair to say that Elon has not exuded a lot of optimism and positive thinking at Twitter recently or ever. That's emotion regulation. It's not about lying to yourself and others or about pretending that things are rosy when times are tough. It's about having the maturity to understand that as a leader, your emotional state affects others. It's about knowing that you can't let your negative emotions make your employees stressed and fearful. And it's about doing what's best for the company long term, not what soothes your negative feelings right here and now. So, where does Twitter go from here? Honestly, nowhere good. Not as long as Elon is in charge, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He did promise to obey a poll that voted for him to step down as CEO of Twitter, but he also recently said that that might happen at the end of this year. And I think we all know just how unreliable Musk is when it comes to deadlines. Even if Musk were to step down, I think we all know that any Twitter CEO he put in would 100% be his puppet. So the only hope for Twitter would be that Musk could change and learn some emotional regulation. And it's pretty clear to me that he never, ever will. The thing about immature people is that they lack the very things they need to stop being immature. Changing your behavior takes introspection, it takes humility, and a willingness to admit you are wrong. Musk has none of these qualities. So my prediction is that Elon is going to spiral out of control from here. His terrible leadership is going to cause worse and worse results at Twitter, and the increasing pressure he feels from that is going to make his behavior even worse and worse, causing even worse results, and so on. I think we're seeing it already. He is more arrogant, belligerent, demanding, erratic, and immature than ever. Or as one Twitter employee put it, he's gone fully not so. Thanks for watching. Have you ever worked for a manager who lacked emotion regulation? How did that affect you? Did that manager eventually learn, or how did you deal with it? Do you think Musk could learn? Or where do you see Twitter going under his leadership? Write a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That can really help me in my efforts to bring some science-based sanity to workplaces everywhere. And most of all, stay happy.